In today's episode, I'll be giving my review and reaction to the 2015 film The Revenant. Let's dive right into The Revenant. Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the dub cast. The Revenant was released on December 16th, 2015. The genre is an epic Western action drama. The runtime was 2 hours and 36 minutes. The budget was $135 million. The director is Alejandro G. Inarritu, who I have never seen any of his films before. This movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, Domhnall Gleeson, and Will Poulter. So, if you're new to the channel, I'll give my overarching review, give a score, compare that score amongst other scores so far on the Dubcast. Then I'll get into my thoughts and reactions throughout the film. So starting with my overall review, I thought this was a breathtaking movie with crazy set pieces and building up the scenery, just amazing, beautiful scenery of a winter time. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately for the newer movies, but it's still astonishing, and this is almost 10 years ago at this point. I just thought there was some amazing cinematography within this movie. I thought this movie originally coming in was all about the bear that attacks Leonardo DiCaprio's character. I thought that was like the whole movie was him trying to survive against a bear, not getting attacked by a bear and then having to deal with the aftermath of that. But I definitely had the wrong idea with that. Didn't affect my obviously watching the movie, just taking on that journey, different journey, but thought this was low-key a decently stacked cast. I had no idea that Tom Hardy was in this movie. Will Poulter's in this movie. Paul Anderson from Peaky Blinders, who plays Arthur in that, is in this movie as well. So definitely Tom Hardy was a major addition to this cast for me because I had no idea he was even in this movie, and his role is obviously probably the second biggest outside of Leonardo DiCaprio's. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, definitely deserves his props for this movie. I think he showed off major chops throughout and was easily the best actor in this movie. He just did an astonishing job with his role. It felt very real. Like, every time, Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my favorite characters because he's played so many different characters, and every time he plays a character, it's like you can just see him being that person. Like, it's not even, you don't even think of him as Leonardo DiCaprio, you just think of him as the character. I also want to give credit to both Tom Hardy and Will Poulter for flourishing in this movie in their smaller roles. Definitely Hardy had a bigger role than Will Poulter, but he did a great job in this as well as the main villain of the movie. As I mentioned before, had no idea he was even in this. I'm surprised he didn't win any awards for this. I think he did a great job in this movie as well, and he definitely made it what it was. So I think this is just a crazy movie, crazy stuff going on with nature that I did appreciate throughout. I mean, you have the bear encounter to the bear cubs being around, the mama bear protecting the bear cubs. Very realistic. Also, nice to see that not nice because obviously Glass gets hurt during this encounter, but that is true. Mother bears do protect their cubs, so that was a cool scene. You have him sleeping inside the dead horse, which was another crazy scene. The buffalo running with the random Native American person he meets, all just good nature stuff, but it wasn't like a movie that focused on nature. Just those small little interactions really helped prop up the movie, in my opinion. I thought that was a nice aspect to it as well. Obviously, Glass's journey throughout the movie I thought was just absurd. I'm not sure how he survived all of that, and I recently just found out that this was based on a true story, or based around a true story. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't call it out because it's based on a true story. It just felt like, I don't know how he survived all that, but it's pretty clear that his motivation was his family, his son, who we saw he witnessed the death of, and whatever spirits are out there guiding him. There is a spiritual aspect to this movie that I don't think I'm going to touch on that much, but I do appreciate that, learning about the Native American culture and the spirits that can help guide him throughout this journey. I didn't think that took away from the movie at all. I thought there was kind of a nice little thing going on there, but didn't mind either way. So, it did kind of feel a little bit ominous and irrelevant, though. Just took me out of it a little bit, but didn't distract too much from the overall film. Maybe that's just me being picky. I did think some of the plot moved along slowly, and this could have been a little less long, in my honest opinion. 2.5 hours. This movie felt a little bit long. Honestly, like hand up, the first time I watched this, I watched an hour and literally couldn't stop myself from falling asleep. I think that was just me being like tired, though. I don't think that was that because the movie was boring. So I did watch this in two sittings. I still rate this movie pretty highly, though. The ending I thought was amazing and awesome, with the final encounter between Fitzgerald and Glass being just everything it was hyped up to be throughout the movie. I also was a bit confused by the Indian tribes throughout. I don't know. I think there was a couple different Indian tribes throughout the movie. I felt like it was a little bit hard to follow. Who's helping Glass? Who doesn't want to see Glass succeed? Who's the enemy here? Who's, the people? I think they called them the the people that we were not supposed to think would be friendly. I don't know. I feel like that was just a little bit hard to follow on who's helping and who's not helping. Maybe they all just didn't really care about the Americans slash Europeans because they took over the land and they're pieces of shit. But doesn't matter. I think this movie didn't quite suit exactly what I'd usually go for. I mentioned before, I'm not usually a huge fan of westerns. I don't know if this even qualifies as like a real western, but I usually wouldn't pick this movie. I added this to my list because of all of the hype at the time. I still hear things about it today. So I think this was an insightful journey and a great ride to take. Overall, I'm going to land this movie at an 8.3. Pretty strong review, pretty strong score. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but I was definitely worth a watch. I think it's worth a watch for all Leonardo DiCaprio fans for sure. Western fans, give it a shot. Nature people, like this had a lot in it, and I think I would recommend this to a lot of different people. So I'm landing at an 8.3. So now let's compare this 8.3 amongst the other movies we've reviewed so far. So this is our 42nd movie review on the Dubcast. This comes in at number 14 of those movies, so leaves it directly in the top third, number 14 to 42. Just makes the cut for the top third of the movies. So this ties with Nightcrawler and Devil's Advocate. If I'm comparing the nitty gritty between those three movies, I think this would come in last of Nightcrawler and Devil's Advocate. Just slightly prefer those movies a little bit more. But I think this was still a solid film. So where else this ranks against other westerns, you had Django Unchained, which is classified as a western. That was a 9.2, obviously a little bit behind that. But this does beat out Brokeback Mountain, which was an 8.2, and 310 to Yuma, which was a 7.9. So build a nice little stack of westerns. Teaser for next review, that'll also be a movie classified as a western. So this loses out to the other Leonardo DiCaprio movie on this list, which was Django Unchained. Yeah, we need more Leonardo DiCaprio movies on this Dubcast because Leonardo DiCaprio is a man. Haven't done a proper review of them, but Departed is fire, Shutter Island's fire, Inception's fire. Some of my favorite movies right there. But maybe one day I'll do a Redux review of those movies once we run out of things on my list. But the list will never end. Anyways, let's now get into my thoughts and reactions throughout the movie. So we start off this movie, which what I considered was a weird introduction. You have Leonardo DiCaprio's character, who we later know as Glass, whispering a foreign language to a child. I think I was struggling with the subtitles when I was watching this movie, so I'm not sure if I had the direct translations on at this moment. Maybe that would have helped. It was just kind of a weird introduction to it, though, and especially me coming in thinking there's going to be a bear attack versus DiCaprio. I didn't see a trailer for this. I haven't seen a clip from this movie. I thought it was just a bear attack, and that was like him surviving against the bear one on one, which is like a really dumb idea to think of a movie is going to be the whole time. But I had no idea there was Native Americans involved. I had no idea Tom Hardy was involved. I don't know. I've said that already a lot of times, but I just thought this was a weird introduction to the movie. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did I miss an interpretation here? I'm sure the kid probably said a super nice quote that led him on his journey to defeat Fitzgerald at the end, and I'm just missing the whole full circle moment because I didn't have the subtitles on. So that's on me. Hand up if that's the case. Anyways, we keep moving. There's a camp, and we go back to the camp. We have a naked man asking for help, and then he immediately dies, and they get ambushed by spears and arrows. So you meet Tom Hardy's character, I believe. Everyone's kind of at this nice little camp. A naked guy comes in like, help, 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 and then it's an ambush. It's a Native American ambush. Super intense battle scene where everyone escapes onto a boat and out of that campsite. So right off the bat, you get that vibe of, this is going to be the Native Americans are not happy that the Americans are here in their land, or Europeans. I'm not sure if we quite learn if they're Americans or Europeans. I think they're Americans. But that's going to be a consistent through line through the movie of the Native Americans versus the Americans / Europeans. I don't know. I thought that this was a better opening scene. It's like, okay, we're at a nice camp. Tom Hardy's talking to these people. Oh, there's a naked guy here asking for help. Oh shit, we're in a full-on fucking battle, and Native Americans don't have guns. They have arrows and spears, so that just makes them infinitely more cool when they're attacking people. So I thought that was a nice little battle scene to set us off into some action to start it out. So we have Fitzgerald, who we met. He's pushing strongly against Leonardo DiCaprio's character Glass because Glass had a kid with a Native American and may have shot a lieutenant. We never really get the story. I think we do actually get the story on that lieutenant. He did shoot the lieutenant. Yeah, this is just like your classic, we don't like you because you're doing something different and you're mingling with the natives. No, you're not allowed to do that here. Tom Hardy's character, I mean, he plays the role well, he plays the villain well, but really hasn't earned no sympathy throughout the movie. I mean, we don't need to get into anything because we're about to get into it, but yeah, right off the bat, we know Fitzgerald is pretty bad news, and you start feeling sympathetic for Leonardo DiCaprio's character Glass because he's the one, reaching out to these people. He had a kid. He has a Native American kid now, and they're already hating on him. Like, not cool, bro. So right off the bat, first hour, 45 minutes in, we get our bear attack. So Glass is out on the camp. They have like these bear pelts, which never comes back up again. They have to drop off the bear pelts, or just pelts in general. It might be beaver pelts and stuff like that. That's where they're going to make their money to earn their money back on this trip. But they have to leave them there because they need to flee because the Native Americans are coming down to get them down the river. Anyways, so the bear attacks Glass. And yeah, if I'm in this situation, bro, I've had many fears of being attacked by a bear, bro. In the past year, especially where I live, there's been a lot of bear sightings. I've been outside in the summer at a fire by a pond. Like, I'm worried that there's gonna be a bear coming, especially if I'm under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Then I get even more scared if I were to ever do those. But I don't know. I would want no part of this, and the bear just tramples him, left him very hurt. I don't know how you don't die. Like, thinking of me versus a bear, bro, I'm standing no chance against that. And I still can't, in my head, I still can't figure out the black bear lay down. I think it's brown bear you stand tall, black bear you lay down, which eventually is actually how Glass gets away from the black bear. He lays down, and yeah. In this situation, though, I didn't have a lot of sympathy for Glass. Like, the mother's protecting his cubs, or protecting her cubs, bro. Not to misgender a bear from 1800, but yeah, like, that's their cubs, bro. They're gonna attack, and wrong place, wrong time. Not sure if they got the manual on, if you see a black bear, lay down, brown bear, stand tall. I mean, that's a pretty common saying nowadays in 2025. But yeah, I want nothing to do with a bear at all. Actually, bears really scare me. I respect those people out there who can just pet a bear and be chill with them, but I want nothing to do with a bear. Anyways, he gets a shot off at it, just gets re-trampled again. Now he's trying the knife and seemingly mortally wounds the bear as it falls on top of him. I forget what happened if the bear made it out alive, but I mean, I think he actually killed the bear because I remember the cubs being all sad. Now you robbed the cubs of a mother. Like, fuck these people who hunt and kill animals, even though we all eat chicken and all eat hamburger meat. Anyways, yeah, the wife and baby mother is gone now. Like, that was sad, bro. Free those cubs, man. I hope those cubs had a good life. So he's injured now, and he has a dream. Glass, aka Leonardo DiCaprio, he's been left by the other half of the team as he's in pain, struggling. So half the team takes off, half the team stays with him to try and rescue him, to bring him to help, because they don't want to just give up on him. Obviously, you can't just give up on him. He's a former military, or is military currently. I think they all are military, so he's military currently. So his wife and baby mother is gone now. I don't know where baby moms went as well. 2 mothers lost in the span of 10 minutes. The cub's mom, and now his wife and mother of his son. So, I mean, this dream sequence is a thing that continues on. I mean, it was kind of a distraction, but nothing too bad. Anyways, Fitzgerald attempts to kill Glass while he's injured by saying if he blinks, he'll take away his suffering. So he's trying to get him to blink, but Glass is just like, and refuses to blink. Obviously, doesn't want to die. His son is still alive at this point, and Fitzgerald just wants to get rid of Glass, move on with the trip. He thinks he's weighing him down, that they're going to die out there if they keep Glass and keep trying to help Glass and protect him. So his son, when this is happening, when he's trying to get him to basically give him the okay to kill him, when Fitzgerald's asking Glass to give him the go ahead to kill him, his son's like, yo, quit this shit. You're asking him to blink. Like, it's impossible not to blink as a human. Now, Fitzgerald stabs the son and kills him. And this is fucked because Glass is seeing it all. He's nonverbal at this point. Like, he took like 3 edibles and can't talk. No, he's like actually hurt. But, I mean, it was bad, bro. Like, this was the toughest scene to watch. I mean, you're killing a son right in front of his father who just can't do anything physically, can't speak, and Will Poulter's character is over there, but he doesn't know what's going on. Fitzgerald's like, "Oh, Hawk just disappeared, and now Glass is dead." Fitzgerald tries to hide it, but Glass did see it, and this will come up again later. But there's nothing you can do about it. He can't talk. He can't do anything. He can't move. So now it's just Will Poulter's character and Fitzgerald. So Fitzgerald gets the job done. I mean, obviously Will Poulter's a younger gentleman. He's kind of impressionable. Fitzgerald's like, Glass is dead. But they leave him there, bury him a little bit. But no, Glass emerges from the dead and his shallow tomb and crawls over to his dead son, embraces him for what will be the last time. I mean, just a tough scene to watch with what happened to his son right in front of him, and now he's giving his final goodbyes. He never got to say bye to him. He still can't even really talk. So Glass is on his own now as Fitzgerald, and Will Poulter's character are off on their own journey now, having convinced him that Glass is dead, Hawk is gone, so they got to keep moving. So now Glass is discovered by natives and flows downstream, and this was a big Robert it go down moment where he's just on the river and there's a fucking waterfall and he's about to see it. It's like, Robert, it go down, but he's laying back like this so he can't even see it, but he's okay. Thank God. I mean, that was a turn the ship around, Robert. Like, damn. So quick intermission. This is where I was noticing the very nice scenic shots throughout the movie. You had the mountain, river, valley, a nice sunset. Glass watches the buffalo run, which, you know, if you think of like a National Geographic show, you just imagine like buffaloes or zebras or everything or any kind of animal just running on a nice plain, whether it's cold, sunny, or whatever. It's a nice image to watch. So that was a cool little scenery thing there. And then we get Glass having this encounter with a native who has captured and killed a buffalo. He ends up sharing it with him. This native's very nice to him. He's just eating like raw heart, and Glass is like, I need food desperately, or I'm gonna die. Like, I haven't had anything to eat in a couple days. And yeah, this native's very nice to him. Now we'll help him share a ride. They ride off together towards the camp. Hopefully that's where Glass is trying to end up, back to his camp. And on the other note, we have Fitzgerald and Bridger. That's Will Poulter's character. Will Poulter's name is Bridger. And they make it back to the camp before because they left Glass. Obviously, now Glass doesn't really know where he's going. He has no map. He was buried alive. So Fitzgerald tells lies about what happened. Bridger's quiet, but then tries to speak up a little bit and is even shushed then by Fitzgerald. I'm wondering if the captain kind of knew that Fitzgerald is kind of a scumbag. I think he did know, like, that there was something a little bit wrong about the situation, but he couldn't really pinpoint it. There was no really hard evidence, and with Bridger not seeing anything, it was hard to be like pull out an accusation on Fitzgerald. But he's domineering the conversation. I don't know, this is a little bit suspect, but obviously we behind the curtain know it all. Can't really expect the captain to step in here and make a change. So Glass on his journey is healed a lot by a poem about a tree and tree-type needles on his back given to him by this new friend he has, which he's seemingly abandoned. I was like, oh, that guy just helped him out and then just left him here? That's kind of weird. But nope, his friend, the Native American, has been hung by the French, and Glass is right near the French camp, and he witnesses them about to attempt to rape a native girl. Glass is trying to steal a horse at this point. He sees the attempted rape, and he successfully takes one and takes the horse and takes the girl away. So good job. I mean, I'm sure this is very historically accurate. I'm not indicting the French people, but people just raping poor Native Americans who just like lived there their whole lives, and now they just show up and they're being raped by people. Like, that sucks. So get her out of there. Good job. I mean, get retribution hopefully one day, but I don't know. I think they just ride away, and then the French people will continue to do that until change is made. I don't know. Anyways, so they are awoken now by natives charging on his camp. Glass, he set up a little camp. He rides the horse he has off the cliff onto a tree. The horse is dead. I mean, it's this big ass like pine tree. Poor horse. Felt really bad for the horse and obviously Glass, but it was obvious he wasn't actually dead. Poor horsey. I hate when animals die in movies. It's sad. So now he's got to kill the horse for food. This is a little bit fucked up. As I always mention with these type of movies, brings me back to the days of Red Dead. In Red Dead 1, you can skin a horse. In Red Dead 2, you can't skin a horse and have food and eat food of it. But he's not even making food. He's going to crawl inside and use it for cover, which is honestly pretty smart. I mean, I don't think I would have thought of that. And he only makes a couple cuts in there, gets naked, and just goes in the horse. Can't imagine that would be like the warmest thing in the world, but it's better than being out there by yourself, no fire, no anything. Obviously, his horse just died. He has nothing. So good for him there, figuring something out of nothing. But the poor horse, I mean, it's like nature versus, at this point, it's 1800s. They don't give a fuck about properly burying a horse anyways, so let's use it for something better. So someone comes to the gate of the camp back with Bridger and Fitzgerald and leaves a clue that Glass might still be alive. They found something of his in the snow. Glass wrote in his enclosed structure that he made that Fitzgerald killed his son, and he saw it. He is able to speak now, but obviously there's no one around, so he's leaving messages, clues in case people see it. So they send the camp out to go see him. Or to go try and find him. Once they find the clue that he might be alive, they send the whole cavalry out and they find him still alive. The captain wants to go after Fitzgerald, but Fitzgerald had already fled, having seen the writing on the wall that, this is not going to end well for him, because if Glass saw everything, he's fucked, because he killed the son. He left Glass to die there alone, an accomplished military man. He's already made his exit plan. He's left. Arthur, aka Paul, or aka Thomas Anderson. Is it Paul Anderson or Thomas Anderson? Either way, Arthur's actor in Peaky Blinders is kind of trying to protect him a little bit, and then he doesn't end up following through fully with it, Paul Anderson, because he's threatened. So he gives away where Fitzgerald ran off to. And yeah, right off the bat, Glass back at the camp's like, let me go after Fitzgerald. He killed my son. I need to avenge him. His body looks like complete shit, but he's, this is like every last bit of adrenaline, every last bit of strength, and whatever you have left in you to go avenge your son. This is like this would be a good Red Dead Redemption story. Maybe not, because, I don't know, the campaign would be pretty short because you're basically just like doing a bunch of shit in the wild. But I think this could be a good video game, maybe a good book. This definitely would be a good book. I'm not sure if there is a book out there. So Captain finally agrees to let Glass go and find Fitzgerald. It's just the captain and Glass out there on the hunt. So Captain finds him while Gage is doing his own thing, of course. They're split off. So the captain engages. The captain ends up losing this engagement and is killed by Fitzgerald. So Fitzgerald shot at Glass. But Glass pulls one of the bigger, rug pulls ever. I don't know if that's the right term. Like a magical moment where he throws the captain's dead body onto the horse and pretends that that's his body, because he's so injured and fucked up. It's actually just the captain's dead body. And now he pulls the switcheroo and is now chasing after Fitzgerald because he was able to trick him. So nice little trickery there, little mindfuck by Glass. He shows he's got some wits about him in battle. I like to see that. That was a cool moment. So in the pursuit, the guns are dropped and lost, and now it's a one-on-one encounter with knives and hatchets. Glass, this is a crazy fight. Glass slices part of Fitz's hand off, like I think last 3 fingers. Fitz gets a knife in through the thigh of Glass. Fitz eats some of Glass's ear on some Mike Tyson shit. Glass then stabs the knife deep into Fitz's chest. Fitz stabs his knife through the hand of Glass. One of those, you know, um, what's a movie that's happened in Black Ops 1 campaign moments. And then Fitz is pretty much down bad. Glass gets the upper hand. He could have finished him right there, but instead of doing that, he sends him down the river to the Native American people who have pulled up and are now watching this all play out. And I believe this is the woman who Bridger gave food to. So flashback, Bridger and Fitzgerald go through a camp. Fitzgerald's like, "Fuck these people. We need to kill them if we see them." Bridger sneaks a little piece of bread to a woman. I think that was the woman at the end, so she knows Fitzgerald is scum. So once Glass floats him down the river, you can expect what is going to happen to Fitzgerald. He's drowned, and his body flows down the river lifeless. We did it. Glass did it. Fitzgerald dead. Tom Hardy dead. So that'll do it. The Revenant. I didn't have a lot to say about this movie. Like, I feel like it's kind of one that you're just entrapped in. There's not really a lot to comment on. So that's why maybe this review is a little bit shorter. But what did you guys think? The Revenant. I know this movie won all types of awards. I can see the vision on that. I think this is a beautiful nature story. Leonardo DiCaprio did an amazing job. Maybe slightly overrated. Don't attack me. Just my opinion. But still an 8.3, a strong movie, The Revenant. Strong Leonardo DiCaprio performance. So that'll wrap up the Revenant 2015 review. What's happening next on the Dubcast? Next couple reviews. Mentioned it a little bit before. We got The Hateful Eight. Next, we have Arrival. So those will be the next two movie reviews. I'm kind of in the 2010s right now for some reason. I don't know why I'm reviewing a lot of 2010 movies. But if that's not your style, we got To Live and Die in LA from 1985. We got Django Unchained, a whole bunch of other movies on the channel. Besides that, TV is back. Stay tuned for White Lotus Season 3. That comes out on February 14th. Besides that, so many shows coming. Once the Super Bowl's over, I'm watching shows as well. We'll have Bear Season 3, Mandalorian Season 3, Penguin, Severance. More shows coming. Daredevil's coming out. Survivor's coming back. It's crazy, man. Last of Us Season 2. It's quite a time to be alive, to be a TV fan and a fan of the Dubcast. Haven't even talked about sports. We'll have UFC 312 preview. Hopefully we'll have my guests back for that. Besides that, taking a week off for football. We have no football on Sunday, but we'll be back the week before the Super Bowl. One last stream for the season, talking our picks for the Super Bowl and breaking down the conference championship game. So thank you guys so much for sticking along on this ride with the Dubcast. Dubcast rolling strong in 2025. If you want to stay tuned to more videos, please subscribe to show support. Like the video, dislike the video, comment. We're on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, X. X I just used to tweet random fights, but that doesn't matter. So, as always, be easy, guys.